Modern numerology is a popular type of fortune telling. Lying behind it is a history of OFMNE10 to RISOFS pedulat in ABOUTIUM hers in their symbolism, and it is based on two extremely old principles. The first, which goes directly back to Pythagoras and his followers in ancient Greece, is that numbers are clues to the real, underlying structure of the universe. The second is the deep-rooted belief that the name of a thing contains the essence of its being, see names, so that the name of a person, prop, not sign, fairly analyzed and understood, will reveal the truth about that person's character and course through life. Linked with these grin, not sign, symbols is the tradition that the secrets of the universe are enshrined in the Hebrew alphabet, see alphabet. Numerologists believe that the letters of your name contain the essential truth about you. You state by turning each letter of your name into a number, using the name by which you normally think of yourself, as follows. 1 2 AB1 Kelvin QRJY. These letter number equivalents come from the Hebrew alphabet, in which the letters also stood for numbers. Aleph, A for 1, Beth, B greater than for 2, Gimel, G for 3, and so on. Knots are disregarded, so that 8 Shin 300 is 3, while K, Kaf, 20 is 2. There is no 9 in the system because the Hebrew letters which stood for 9, 90 and 900 have no equivalents in our alphabet. Numbers for feathers like E and X which do not exist in Hebrew are taken from the Greek alphabet, where the letters again stood for numbers. You write down your name with number equivalents and add up num, not sign, burs. If the total has 2 or more figures, add these together and go on in this way until you reach a single figure. For example, WLL1AM Shakespeare 6133114351253855125. Total 59. 5 plus 9 equals 14. 1 plus 4 equals 5. Number 5 is the number of the name William Shakespeare. Over the centuries, a considerable body of symbolism has attached itself to the number 5, and Shakespeare's character and achievements can be interpreted in terms of it. Any name could be turned into one of the numbers from 1 to 9, which means that the numerologist has a manageable quantity of categories, or broad personality types, to work with. But he does not maintain, of course, that if your name adds to 5 you must have exactly the same character and talents as Shakespeare and the enumer, not sign, able other human beings, past and present, whose names yield the figure 5. The number of your full name indicates your general personality type. Within it, you can find out more about yourself by con, not sign, citing the total of the vowels in your name, the heart number, which reveals your inner self, the person you are at heart, and the total of the consonants, the personality number, which reveals your outer self and how others see you. Open and hidden. This distinction follows from the fact that written Hebrew, like other early alphabets, had no vowels. So the consonants, which were written down, show your outer shell, while the vowels, which were concealed, show your hidden, inner personality. Y is treated as a vowel only if there is no other vowel in the word. In Lin it counts as a vowel, in Henry as a consonant. The same fact probably accounts for the old idea that vowels are particularly sacred and magical, more mysterious and not sign, than the consonants which everyone could see written down, the soul hidden in the body of the consonants. Nystigmize, not scientific theorists in the Eastern Mediterranean area in the early centuries after Christ were sometimes peculiarly addicted to vowels. One of their versions of the name of God was, in English letters, Leui. You can also consider the numbers given by each letter of your name. The letters of William Shakespeare, for example, do not include the 7 at all, suggesting the absence of the introspective and introvert qualities associated with the number, but contain the number 1 5 times over, suggesting masterful creativity and originality, driving force and egotism. Again, you can consider nicknames and other variants of your full name, which are supposed to reveal you as you are in your relationships with those who use them. A married woman's maiden name should not sign her character before she married, and her married name should show how not sign Raj has changed her. Yet another important number is the birth number, found by adding up your day, month and year of birth. For instance, if you were born on the 15th of August 1972, 15 plus 8 plus 1 plus 9 plus 7 plus 2 equals 42. And 4 plus 2 equals 6L. This number is believed to reveal the mode in which the workings of fate cast you at your birth, what you were destined to be. If your birth number does not harmonize with the number of your name, then you are not ably prone to fierce inner conflicts. The number of God. If your number is 1, you are thought to be an exceptionally powerful, positive and dominating person, forceful, aggressive and 3, 4, CD, GM, LT, S, 5, 6, EUHVNWX 78 OFZP. Ambitious. You lead, pioneer, originate and invent. Self-reliant, obstinate and autory, not sign, time. You tolerate no rivals and you have few close friends. You can be kind and not sign aroused to people who do what you want, but you have a violent temper and no scruples if opposed. You are unlikely to find deep not sign kindness in love and friendship, as you tend to look on other people as potential supporters or opponents rather than partners. People whose number is 1 are daring and self-reliant. They stand on their own feet, resent anyone else's authority, rarely seek advice or follow it. They are strong leaders, good at getting things going, and should flourish as organizers, inventors, designers, planners, engineers and technicians. They are single-minded, hasty-tempered, willful and impatient, and tend to take pride in being difficult to deal with. Most of this follows from the fact that in Christian number symbolism 1 is the number of God the Father. The creativity, originality and bent for organization of 1 are derived from the God who created the world and many of the other characteristics, including dominance, initiative, leadership, loneliness, impatience of opposition and generosity to supporters, are drawn from the God of the Old Testament. This is reinforced by verse's position as the first of the numbers, so that the year which adds to 1 is said by numerologists to be a time of fresh beginnings and discoveries, new ventures, an outburst of creative activity. The fact that the figure 1 resembles an erect phallus has not escaped notice of numerologists and contributes to their view of numbers creativity, but also of its solitariness and independence. That all things are essentially one thing, that unifying all the phenomena exists, not sign, hence there is a one which is also the whole, is a belief found in many religious and mystical traditions. Number 1 has been revered by number mystics from the Pythagoreans onwards as the first cause, the infinite God, the one which transcends all multiplicity. Whether 1 could properly be called a number at all was long in doubt, and until comparatively modern times it was generally thought of, not as a number but as the essence or underlying principle of number, all other numbers being made of it. 2 equals 1 plus 1, 3 equals 1 plus 1 plus 1, and so on. It was said to be neither odd nor even, but both, because if added to an odd number it makes it even and vice versa. So it combined the opposites of odd and even, and all the other opposites in the universe. 2 and the devil. The human longing for unity and single, not signness. The tendency to regard oneness as good, multiplicity and diversity as evil, is deep and widespread. Many mystics have longed to become one with God. In Judaism, 1892, Numerology, and Islam, God is one. In Christianity, God is 3, but also 1. 1 is good, many bad, which is why 2, the first number to break away from 1, is traditionally the number of evil and in Christian numerology belongs to the devil. It is also the number of woman, long regarded in male-dominated societies as fundamentally evil. From the Pythagoreans onwards, 2 has carried a connotation of evil, but modern numerology is reluctant to classify any number as inherently vicious and in its pick, not sign, term 2's characteristics. This ancient link is largely submerged. But the link with woman has survived and 2 is still regarded as the number of femininity and as the opposite of 1. 2 is passive where L is active, negative where 1 is positive, weak where 1 is strong, receptive where the phallic 1 is thrusting. People with a name which adds to 2 are described as quiet, unassuming and gentle, tactful and diplomatic. They are followers rather than leaders, and they get their way by persuasion and cooperation instead of by the forceful, direct methods of one. Unambi, not sign, Tammuz, disliking the limelight. They are con, not sign, tend to stay in the background, and since they are obedient, neat, modest, helpful and discreet, they make good subordinates. They are good-natured, sympathetic and understanding. They get on well with people, but they may be rather shy and timid. They like detail and routine, and are worried by new departures, bold initiatives, sudden changes of plan. They tend to undervalue themselves and are always in danger of being trampled on by other people. They are likely to be fundamentally uncertain of themselves. Deep in their personality there may be a strain of malice, cruelty and deceit, and at their worst they can be liars and mischief makers, spineless and sulky, cowardly and pessimistic. All this is an old-fashioned stereotype of woman, not as the wife and mother and partner of man, which is more the preserve of sex, but as man's opposite and subordinate. The characteristics apply equally to a year which adds to 2, which numerologists expect to be a time of peace and quiet, of gentle progress by way of harmonious cooperation with others, of negotiation and reconcilia, not sign shin. As one numerologist puts it, the seed sown in a 1 year grows quietly in the 2 year. Christian numerologists found confirma, not sign, Tory evidence of 2ts evil nature in the Bible, where Genesis does not say that God saw that it was good alter the 2nd day of Cree, not sign, anion, though it says it about all the other days. And in the 12th century St. Victor said that, as the first number to break away from the unity of 1, 2 is the number of sin, which deviates from original good. As the evil number which sets up an opposite to God, 2 naturally belongs to the devil, God's arch opponent. The reverse pentagram with 2 points upwards is a symbol of evil and Satan. See pentagram. Tilclone hoof is a mark of the devil, and so is the forked tongue of the serpent. This link with the devil accounts for the streak of malice and cruelty which numeral, not sign, logists attribute to, and the characteristics of telling lies and making mischief come from the prince of darkness. The sense of 2 as evil and deceitful survives in several common expressions. To double-cross someone is to cheat or betray him. To be two-faced is to be insincere, and double, not sign, dealing is trickery. 3rd time lucky. 3 is traditionally the luckiest of them, not sign, birds, and belongs to lively, sparkly, charming people who easily make money and conquests in love, who are talkative and like to show off, witty and talented. They adore the limelight and detest obscurity, though they are often more nervous and sensitive than their assured exterior suck, not sign, guests. They tend to expend their energies wastefully in too many directions and, since they love luxury and pleasure, to scatter money about. though always the life and soul, if the party, they can sometimes be exasperatingly vain, gossipy and superficial, seldom worried or depressed. They are people to whom everything seems to come easily, who succeed without really trying. Behind this picture of three, several strands of symbolism converge. Number 1, though potentially all creative, is regarded as barren by itself, for however many times it is multiplied by itself it remains one. Number 2 introduces a pair of opposites, but 2 multiplied by 1 remains 2. It is 3 which fruitfully reconciles the opposites. To create more numbers, 3x to asterisk equals 6. So 1 is the number of God alone and unmanifested. Into something emanates from God's whole, not signness, to create a pair of opposites. In 3 the opposites are reconciled and God becomes manifest and comprehensible to human experience. Chiming with this is the sexual symbolism of 3 as the number of the male genitals, which are threefold. This is the basic numerology I interpret, not sign-tation of the Trinity, the threefold Godhead, as the number of the Trinity. In Christian numerology, 3 is naturally linked with the most holy, the most perfect, the best. But the number's connection with the superla, not sign, time is older. And the notion of the superla, not sign, time itself involves the third term in a series of 3. Good asterisk better, best, and 3 is not only linked with best, but with all as a number of completeness. Time is made of 3 ingredi, not sign, ends, past, present and future, and so is space, length, breadth and thickness. All created things have a beginning, a middle and an end. The feeling that 3 is the basis of every, not sign, thing we experience may account for the belief that runs of luck tend to go in 3s. Third time lucky is a common phrase, and if 2 unlucky things happen one after the other, some people will deliberately break a dish or cause some other minor damage to end a run of ill luck. 3 if anything is somehow, all or enough of it, as in he'll give you 3 guesses. The hero of a folktale often leaves 3 wishes or 3 tries at a task, and the heroine has 3 suitors asterisk, while 3 often pops up as a number of completeness in nursery rhymes. Goldilocks and the 3 bears, 3 little kittens who lost their mittens, 3 blind mice. The medieval Christian numerologists remarked on various uses of 3 as a number of completeness in the New Testament, including the 3 gifts of the Magi asterisk, the 3 temptations in the wilderness asterisk, 3 denials of Christ by Peter asterisk, 3 falls on the way to Golgotha, 3 days between the crucifixion and the resurrection, 3 appearances of the risen Christ to his disciples. These could all be taken as foreshadowings or reflections of the Trinity. Groups of 3 can also be found in Greek mythology, such as the 3 graces, the 3 fates and the 3 furies. They attracted the attention of Renaissance humanists, who connected them with the Trinity. Even the 3 heads of Cerberus, the dog of the under, not sign world, became an emblem of the Christian doctrine. Numerous examples of divine triads come from the Celts, to whom 3 was a sacred number. They sometimes portrayed their deities in groups of 3 or with 3 heads or 3 faces. See Bridget, Celts. Apparently as a way of emphasizing their power and not sign, perhaps with the same basic idea of a single god making himself known in terms of 3, which underlies the stock numerologic AI approach. Down to earth. 4, by contrast, is the number of the earth and is thoroughly gloomy. It is the number of people who are solid but not sign-inspired, hard-working but plodding, steady asterisk cautious, conservative and conventional. They are calm and composed on the surface asterisk, but there may be violent eruptions of feeling underneath and also severe indigestion, earthquakes and eruptions. They are capable organizers and administrators, but 4 does not hold out high prospects of success and reward. The Pythagoreans linked 1 with a point, which in theory has no dimensions, 2 with a line, connecting 2 points, which has length but not breadth, and 3 with a 3, not sign, angle, connecting 3 points and creating not sign, face asterisk having length and breadth but not height. To construct the simplest solid figure, a pyramid, the 4th point has to be added above the triangle asterisk and the 4 points connected. This suggested that the basis of the construction of all solid objects is to be found in number 4. Ever since asterisk 4 has been the number of solidity and matter. According to the old theory asterisk everything is made of the 4 elements, fire asterisk air, earth and water, and 4 is SB. Not sign, surely the number of earth asterisk a solid object bounded by the 4 cardinal points. People whose name adds to 4 are consequently described by the numerologists as solid and stable, but sadly uninspired, like lifeless matter that lacks the divine spark asterisk as respectable, stodgy, humdrum persons asterisk who regard themselves as pillars of society. 4 is traditionally the unluckiest of numbers because of its link with earthly existence, which medieval numerologists regarded as gloomy asterisk laborious, sin-ridden and filled with pain. The connection of 4 with agricultural labor, toil on the earth's surface, and so with the traditional stereotype of the rustic, gave number its connotation of real and not sign, less hard work for minimal and uncertain rewards, and of conservatism, slowness and caution. Modern numerologists try to put a 1893 Numerology bright gloss on it, but 4 is fundamentally the number of poverty, disappointment and defeat. 5 and the flesh. 5 is quite different, a nervous and highly strung number, associated with sensuality, fickleness, risk and gambling. 5s are not sign, subtle and amusing people, clever, arid, resourceful, good company, good at land, not sign, guages and with words, optimistic and fun-loving. They make both friends and money easily. Jumpy, tense and restless, They live on their nerves and they live for sensation and excitement. They enjoy adventure, travel, the new and untried. They are highly attractive to the opposite sex and probably have active love lives asterisk. They hate to be tied down or in a rut. Impatient of rules. They are likely to be erratic, untidy, unpunctual and irritable. The restless, many-sided qualities of 5 follow from the fact that it cunnies halfway in a series of numbers from 1 to 9, so that it faces both ways and has the characteristics of outgoingness, inability to concentrate, unreliability, liveliness. Love of excitement and of sensual pleasure stem from the ASO, not sign, suction of number with the 5 senses, sight, hearing, taste asterisk, touch and smell. This link, the principal clue to 5 in medieval Christian numerology, made it the number of the living flesh asterisk. 5 is made of the first male number, 3.1 added to the first female number, 2 greater than asterisk, and so it is the number of sex and marriage from the male point of view. An idea found in Hinduism as well as in the West. In 5 woman is added to man, in 6 she is multi, not sign, plied by him. So 6 is the female marriage number. The association of 5 with man in the senses was strengthened by the fact that the human body has 5 extremities and, shown with arms and legs extended, could be fitted into a 5-pointed star. Besides being made of 2 plus 3, 5 is also made of 1, God, plus 4, the earth, matter I, and so it is the number of living things asterisk the ani, not sign, made world of nature, divine life infused into the inanimate. It is the number of man as microcosm, as a miniature image of the universe. It can stand for the 4 directions plus the center, sometimes represented in the symbolic decoration of Gothic churches by a 5-petaled 10-flower set at the center of the cross. 6 for harmony. 6 is the opposite number, where 5 is jumpus and erotic, 6 is command. Strange and is the number of mother, milliliters and sexual love. It is the only minimalist first 10 which is per, not sign. Fact, meaning equal to the sum of its divi, not sign, source other than hi asterisk 0 equals 1 plus 2 plus 3. And so it is considered asterisk less than right balanced and harmonious. UI. I people with names adding to 6 arc, black square, I'll be well adjusted and peaceable, not UI. Won by inner conflicts. It WT as onion of NL creation that God created my eye, which suits 6 as the feminine marriage number. It is essentially the number of my wife and mother, and those strongly influenced by it find their happiness primarily in love and marriage. Home and family, decent, tran, not sign, quill, kindly, unselfish, perhaps a bit not sign, drum. 6s are warm and affectionate, domesticated and thoroughly respectable, They also have the defects traditionally associated with the housewife asterisk of being fussily preoccupied with trivialities, limited in outlook, sometimes unreasonably obstinate, not signate, and a trifle dull. A year which adds to 6 is supposed to have the same characteristics, not sign ticks, as a time of harmony and balance, and is naturally a good year for marriages. Contributing to the balanced picture of 6 is the hexagram asterisk, the 6-pointed star made of 2 interlaced triangles asterisk standing for God and man, male and female, fire and water asterisk, spirit and matter, CGI cherubim. On the 6th day of creation God made man plus in his image 1, and where 5 is the number of man as microcosm, 6 is the number of the universal man, man as macrocosm, see macrocosm, max. In the Kabbalah it is the 6th Sephirah, Tifereth, which is the central, balancing and harmonizing sphere on the tree of life. The Mystic 7. A glance at any concordance will reveal the frequency with which 7 appears in the Bible, from the 7 days of creation to the numerous groups of 7 in the Book of Revelation. Stars asterisk, angels asterisk, trumpets asterisk, plagues asterisk, thunders asterisk, seals and vials of wrath among them. The Jews kept the 7th day, on which God rested from his work, as the Sabbath asterisk, the day of rest and worship, which the Christians transferred to Sunday. The key to 7 is this connection with the week and the moon. It is an old and wide, not sign, spread belief that the cycles of life and death on Earth are connected with the waxing and waning of the moon in the sky, sea moon, and each of the 4 phases of the moon cycle lasts roughly 7 days. This is the origin of the month of 4 weeks of 7 days each. It follows that 7 I asterisk has another number of completeness. 7 days make a whole week. The whole world was made in 7 days asterisk 7 of anything makes a complete set. The planets known in antiquity, whose movements in the sky were believed to influence events on Earth, were 7. And they correspond to the 7 days of the week asterisk, the 7 metals and the 7 colors of the rainbow or spectrum, CCORRESPOXDENRKS, days. There are also 7 notes in the musical scale and 7 vowels in the Greek alphabet. As a number of completeness intimately linked with the inner rhythms of the uni, not sign, verse. 7 is powerful in magic and frequently used in spells and charms asterisk often in associa, not sign, shin with 3. In folk belief a 7th child has magical and clairvoyant powers asterisk and the 7th son of a 7th son even more so. Besides being complete asterisk 7 is also numero asterisk logically solitary. It is not made by multi-ph asterisk cation of any other numbers in the first 10. Nor does it asterisk multiplied asterisk produce any of them. As a result it is considered a loner asterisk isolated and virgin asterisk. It follows that people whose number is 7 are said to be withdrawn and solitary asterisk introspective asterisk given to reflection asterisk interested in spiritual matters, which is reinforced by the theme of the Sabbath, the Seventh day, the day of withdrawal from the busy world and concentration on the things of GPT. So 7 is the number of the mystic, the magician, the philosopher asterisk the scholar, the recluse. It belongs to those introverted, quiet, thoughtful people who hold aloof from life's flurry and bustle. Secretive asterisk proud, reserved, stoical, pessimistic, sensitive. They have no time for foolish, frivolous and worldly things. Sevens may have a warmer heart than appears on the surface and may be deeply emotional while almost incapable of showing you they are a law unto them, not sign selves. 8 in the world. 8 is 7's opposite asterisk as a number of worldly involvement. It is associated with business executives asterisk efficient administra, not sign tours. People of great organizing ability and dominating character asterisk busy with worldly concerns asterisk clever and realistic asterisk cold and truth, not sign less when necessary but not always unkind at heart. They are people who gel on in the world. They are strongly influenced by money and power asterisk and likely to be too self-sufficient and preoccupied with the main chance to make satisfactory partners in love and marriage. At the same time asterisk Kate's path is not an easy one. It is a number about, not sign, standing success asterisk but also a dramatic failure in worldly matters, and 8 people lead lives of constant strain and effort. Lying behind this is the fact that 4 is the number of earth and matter, and since 8 is for doubled asterisk 8 comes to mean intense involvement in material things. In addition, the Kabbalah's 8th sphere corresponds to Mercury asterisk, the god of trade and commerce asterisk, and the figure 8 resembles Mercury's wand or caducus. The shape of the number, the 2 circles suggesting dualism, success and failure, and the fact that 8 is twice 4 asterisk, which is the luckiest of numbers asterisk, account for the ominous overtones. In a different line of symbolism 8 means asterisk, a new beginning and so new life. In Jewish tradition a baby boy is named and so begins his life as a real person on the 8th day after birth. Baptism in Christianity is a new beginning and fonts in churches are frequently octagonal. As the number of new life asterisk 8 also means immortality and life after death. The early Christians associated 8 with Sunday. They accepted that God made the world in 6 days and rested on the 7th, not sign nth. They said that the Sunday on which Christ rose from the dead was God's 8th day, on which he renewed his work and gave humankind the possibility of ever, not sign, lasting life asterisk as the number of life after death. 8 stood for eternity and infinity asterisk, and the mathematical symbol for infinity is an 8 lying on its side. The prospect of an eternity in heaven or hell has contributed to the modern numerologist's predictions of great success or dramatic failure with 8. 9 bright shiners. A human child is normally conceived, formed and born in 9 months asterisk, which has much to do with the character of 9 in numerology. 9s are said to be people of growth gifts asterisk with a strong bent for service too. 1894. Numerology. Humanity. They are often fighters for good causes, for the poor and unfortunate. 9 is the number of high mental and spiritual achievement, of inspired and inspiring people who have broad interests and wide sympathies. Generous and compassionate, they may be easily imposed upon and they are often criticized as wild, unorthodox, impractical and rebellious. Passionate, romantic and emotional, 9s love to be on stage and need love and admiration. High-minded and idealistic, they fall in and out of love with great frequency. They enjoy the good things of life and relish beauty in all its forms. 9 as the number of the humanitarian eye follows from the human gestation period. It is the number of love of mankind because of the child made flesh and born into the eye world. Another influence is the fact that 9 is the last and highest of the sequence from 1L to 9, and so it has the highest characteristics, not sign ticks. It is also seen as marking the transit, not sign shin from one scale, 1 to 9, to a higher scale, starting with 10, and so it is the number of initiation, which again parallels the birth of a baby after 9 months. Again, 9 is the number of completeness. A complete circle has 360 degrees and 3 plus 6 plus 0 equals 9. Christ completed his life on earth and died at the 9th hour, and 9 Kate, not sign, garies of people are called blessed in the Sermon on the Mount. It is also a circular and complete number because if it is multi, not sign, plied by any other number, it always repro, not sign, duches itself. 3 by 9 asterisk 27 and 2 plus 7 equals 9. Or 6x 9 equals 54 and 5 plus 4 equals 9. And so on. Patterns in time. One obvious and cogent objection to numerology is that your name is unlikely to be an index to your character because you acquired it by chance. You just happened to be born into a family named Shakespeare or whatever. But numerology, like other forms of divination, does not believe in chance. It sees the world as a design in which your name and the circumstances of your birth have their allotted place. Time runs numerologically, of course. The year 1900 adds up to 1, suggesting a time of new discoveries and inventions, and new and aggressive power groupings. The upsurge of interest in mysticism and the supernatural in the 1960s was attributed by numerologists to the fact that it was the 7th decade. Within the centuries and decades, each year brings a fresh number into play, and within each year so does each month and day. In theory, numerology can be used to make your path through life easier and more successful. If your number is 6, you should try to deal with important matters on a day that adds to 6. You should also hide, not sign, ally live in a house whose number adds to 6 and a street whose name adds to 6, or so the numerologists recommend. In considering a city, the vowels which indicate its inner character provide the crucial number. Ivan's vowels add to 5, resilience, versa, not sign, utility, sensuality. New York set to 3. Brill, not sign. Leanne's, liveliness, glamour. Those of Chicago and X greater than Los Angeles at 9. High achieve, not sign, meant, and Chicago was the skyscrapers. Birthplace K the vowels of Paris, fame for women and wickedness, suitably add to 2, number of both woman and the devil. Music of the spheres. Perhaps the most startling thing about numerology is its assumption that people and traits of character, periods of time, places, items of food, and everything that exists can be described in numerical terms or, to state it at its simplest and flattest, that everything is a number. The idea was bequeathed to Western numerology by the Pythagorean philosophers. Very little is known for certain about Pythagoras him, not sign self, but Aristotle, an opponent of the Pythagoreans, gave his version of their views in bis metaphysics. He said that they believed that all things are numbers, such and such a modification of numbers being justice, another being soul and reason, another being opportunity, and similarly almost all other things being numerically expressible. The notion is hard to grasp, but, to borrow Christopher Butler's analogy, to understand how opportunity one could be thought of as a number, it is helpful to remember that although we behave as if a table is what it appears to be, we can also think of it being really something quite different, a conglomeration of atoms or mole, not sine-equals. One reason why numbers attracted philosophical speculation of this sort is that they provide the principle of order in a seem, not sine-equally chaotic universe. Numbers obey rigid laws, but they also extend to infinity and have infinite possibilities of combination with each other. These characteristics not sign, augment them to people who are in search of a basic pattern to the universe which will combine orderliness with infinite variety. It may have been Pythagoras himself who discovered that the musical intervals known in his time, the octave, the fifth and the fourth, could be expressed in terms of simple ratios between numbers 1, 2, 3 and 4. The discovery had a profound effect on Pythagorean thinking. Aristotle says that, since, again, they saw that the modifica, not sign, tions and ratios of the numerical scales were expressible in numbers, since, then, all other things in their whole nature seem to be modeled on numbers, and numbers seem to be the first things in the whole of nature. They supposed the elements of not sign, burst to be the elements of all things, and the whole heaven to be a musical scale and a number. This was the origin of the concept of the music of the spheres, the harmony and sound made by the heavenly bodies as they travel their rounds in the sky, the basis of the modem numerologist's vibrations 1. Or cosmic rhythms which govern the universe, see vibration. The 16th century astro, not sign, knower Kepler endeavored to calculate the orbits of the planets in terms of the proper, not sign, tions of a vibrating string in the octave. The Pythagoreans were also impressed by the fact that the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4, added together, made 10, In other words, they create the one decad. The first 10 numbers which from this point of view are the SN, not sign, teal numbers, the others merely repeating them at higher levels. That the first 10 numbers are the essential ones is a clue, not sign. Shin naturally drawn from the worldwide practice of counting on the fingers. The fact that 10 is produced by 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 suck, not sign, guessed that these 4 numbers were the origin and basis of all numbers, and they're, not sign, for the basis of everything in the universe. This was confirmed by finding the basis of construction of all solid objects in the same 4 numbers. 1 is the point, 2 is the line, 3 is the triangle, and 4 is the tetrahedron or pyramid, the simplest solid. The Pythagoreans venerated a figure called the tetrades, which is a simple demonstration that 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals 10, and which looked like this. Asterisk. Asterisk asterisk. Asterisk plus asterisk. This early way of representing numbers, by pebbles or dots, suggested or supported the distinction between male and female, not sign, which has influenced numerology ever since. Like other Greek philosophers, the Pythagoreans regarded the existence of pairs of opposites as an important not characteristic of the universe's construction. Among these pairs were good and evil, male and female, and odd and even. Good and male were associated with odd numbers, evil and female with even numbers. When numbers are represented by dots, it is immediately obvious why the odd not sign, numbers are male and the even numbers female. Numbers 3, 5 and 7, for example, are shown as asterisk 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 asterisk. The even numbers 2, 4 and 6 are shown as asterisk 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 plus asterisk asterisk plus asterisk. The odd numbers each have what Plutarch called a generative middle part 1 asterisk, while in each even number there is a certain reject, not sign, time opening 1. Later philosophers followed the example of the Pythagoreans in seeing numbers as divine concepts, ideas in the mind of the God who fashioned the world. God was a great mathematician, who had created a universe of infinite variety and satisfying order to a numerical pattern. The same principle appears in the Kabbalah, where the Sefer Yetzirah describes the making of the world by means of numbers and letters. In the Middle Ages, numerology continued to flourish as a key to the nature of the not sign, verse and the mysteries of the Bible. 1 was the number of God the Father, 2 of his archenemy the devil, 3 of the Trinity, 4 of matter and the earth, 5 of the senses and the flesh. But medieval numerologists were no more unvaryingly consistent than modern ones. On the contrary, a number could have several different meanings, and the one which best fitted a given set of not sign. Circumstances would be applied to that particular context. See also for the OK Mat IA pads. Pythagoras 1312. Richard Cavendish 1895.